What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh.
Period. Oh no, something about MASH just give me like Tuskegee, Alabama. MASH record.
MASH, I love MASH record.
MASH enter. Like what the freak MASH? When I think of MASH, I literally think of like breaking up a potato.
Mash the bun, man.
Turn them loose.
Listen, the fact that Turn Them Loose was on a meme.
Listen, because it's iconic, I'm telling you. Anyways, what is up, Draco? Happy July 6th.
Howdy.
What you do for your second Juneteenth?
Oh my God, I had a really fun weekend. So this is one of the first times that I've been off during this holiday or whatever. So I just went out. I've come to the conclusion. I mean, I've always felt like this though. I don't ever think that we, just speaking as the Black community for the most part, I don't think that we celebrate Independence Day for what it really means. That's just a day for us to barbecue and go swimming.
Totally agree. Just like Columbus Day. Well, we never really celebrate Columbus Day. But you know, whenever there's a day when most people are off, we just use that to cook out. Like we never be like, we won't ever be singing the national anthem and stuff. We just know we off.
Now I remember when I was little, we used to get 4th of July outfits, so we would get like American flag outfits from
Old Navy shirt. Yeah, that was just a thing. Yeah.
That was like a trend, but other than that, like we never really celebrated for what it was. But I just ended up going out. I had clients this weekend as well, so I ended up going out after my clients. I went to a little house party on Friday, which was so much fun. It was an outside house party, so they had like a few tents outside, and everybody was just outside chilling under the tents. The only thing that I hate about Atlanta house parties is that you have to pay to get in them. So it was like $25 to get into somebody's house. And I'm like,
the house of God? I'm trying to understand.
If you ask me, they was having a rent party, but it was fun. It was fun. It was a lot of people.
Was it a big house?
It was a decent sized backyard. Well, I'm not gonna play their house. It was nice. It was nice. The backyard was big, so the way they had it set up was nice. The only thing that was bad was people's shoes kept getting messed up because they did try to put something down, but that didn't stop the dirt because it was so many people. And then on the inside, they had like hookahs and that was another thing. The hookahs was $50.
How much does it normally cost so I can know how to react to that?
$25.
Oh, they definitely was having a rent party. Or they're trying to pay
like
for somebody's
even
funeral.
On the club. Now, if you go to the club, you know they hike everything up. Even at the club, it'd be $30, $35.
But did you pay for it?
No.
Oh.
Now I support Black business, but don't go off like that.
That's hilarious. Now I haven't been to any kind of party like that in a long time, but I will say house parties was my preferred.
It's more intimate.
Different vibe, but kickback. I said kickback.
Yeah, this was definitely not a kickback. This was definitely a party because there was so many people there. I saw Dennis. Dennis was there.
Oh, I see him in his blood outfit.
Period. But yeah, so I did that Saturday. I was supposed to go to a day party, but I just didn't really have the energy to leave the house. Like I was fully dressed and everything, took pictures, didn't go nowhere. So I stayed in the house, and then Sunday I ended up going to a day party, which was so much fun. I went to a new spot called Paparazzi, and then afterwards we attempted to go to Havana Club, but it was a lot going on, so I got out the line and just went home.
You don't feel like overwhelmed going to all these kind of parties and stuff, like all these turn up environments?
I have to be in the mood for it. So for me,
which is every weekend, right?
No. No. Like for the most part on the weekends, I'll be in the house except Sunday. Like Sunday, if I'm off, I'll probably go out to brunch or something. Like I'll go out to get dinner, but even when I do like hang out, I'll go to 10th and Piedmont, which is outside, and it's not a party. It's just everybody just hangs out on the outside of 10th and Piedmont, so it's not like a club.
I feel like you have gone to a club every weekend since COVID dropped.
Me? You gotta be lying.
Maybe I'm confused. I don't know. It just seems like you go to the club a lot. Maybe I'm tripping.
I think that you think that I'm at a club and I'm probably at like a restaurant or something.
Or with a DJ and the lights off. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. My bad, sir.
The only little spots that I would probably go to is like the after hours. But even
Listen,
still, I probably go there.
You grown, Pooh.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see because in my head I'm like,
it do seem like that though. And then when you name all these places, I'm like, damn, you don't do it in his sleep. This how you know how I always been.
Well, you don't go out at all, so I'm sure that's probably like extreme.
Right. And when I do one thing, I'm like, whoo, that's see y'all next semester.
Oh yeah, no. See, the thing is, when I go out, I go out. So I'll go to like 3 places in one day.
Oh Jesus.
So that's probably why
I just got sleeping hearing you say that.
Yeah, like one day I kid you not, I went out, I hung out with Ricky, and me and Ricky went to 6 clubs in one day. I promise, I'm not joking.
That's a lot. You know, also all I hear is money. I see dollar signs. You know how you go on Yelp?
See. Here's the thing. I have a little bit more advantage and privilege above other people.
Oh Lord.
Shade. So I don't be having to pay.
So you just go inside. You don't buy no drink. Don't buy no food.
I do buy drinks.
So I'm saying this is money. Like I get ice water.
The places that I do have to pay for, that day that we went with the Bulldogs was $3. Bulldogs drinks are also $7. So I probably spent all of $11.
$7 too much for me. It's either $150 for the sweet tea or free ice water.
Oh,
and that sweet tea better have light ice and it better have extra lemons and heavy on the sugar. I didn't do nothing yesterday. I actually was supposed to take Hazel to see her grandmother. She was not having that car ride, so we spent the block, went back home.
What was going on? She was barking.
Yeah, dogs do not like car rides. At least early on, you got to really get them used to it. And every time I have to take her to the vet or whatever the case is, she goes crazy. And this was gonna be like a 45-minute drive, so I wasn't even about to play. I'm like, I don't blame you, sir. We just finna go home. But it's funny because yesterday she was in the car and she was still freaking out, but not as bad. But that on 4th of July, I swear to God, everybody around the car had to heard it. They probably thought I was kidnapping her. I swear, dog napping her.
It was fireworks.
No, it wasn't fireworks. This was like early in the day. Honestly, we don't get a lot.
Oh yeah, we don't really get none either. We we won't really get none no more because they do it. They do it in Atlantic Station for certain events, like if they have like Cirque du Soleil or something, or a circus, whatever they be having over there, they'll do it. But other than that, no, they don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, there were several people that was doing it, but it's just not that. It wasn't as bad as when I was living in the hood. Like I seen a lot of my people, like a lot of my friends and cousins was complaining about it. I'm like, after the 4th of July, I didn't hear no more.
I actually think they need to ban them. I've seen too many videos of explosions.
Oh my God. First of all, they used to be banned in Georgia and they were still shooting them. But I think that they realized how much money was involved and people just drive to Alabama and get them. But did you see that video of that guy chasing that girl with the fireworks, like as if he was shooting at her?
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's not even funny. People was laughing.
It was a kid doing it too. They gave this little boy like the one that you shake up and then shoot out like that. He was pointing at
like people. You could literally set somebody on fire. Like I don't understand how that's.
Jonathan, the hairstylist, was lighting them in the house, pointing them at people in the house.
What about that is you think is like for real? Not you, but like what about that seems like a good idea?
Don't know. So, let me do the Black Business of the Week because I got one to hack. So the Black Business of the Week this week is gonna go to, her name is C. Monaco. C. Monaco is a Atlanta-based designer, and I've got a few things made from her before. If y'all don't notice, I love custom stuff, and the reason why is because of how I'm shaped. Let's be honest. I love like creative looks, and I love like fire clothes, but I feel like when it comes to anybody who wears oversized 2X and shirts, the fashion gets really boxy. It gets really like bland, like especially when you go to fast fashion websites. But even on regular like designer stuff, like for instance, like Rick Owens, Gucci, all these other companies like that, they don't really make cute clothes or clothes that really fit my body style. So I have to get custom all the time. So I'm always in search of new designers. But I've gotten something made from her in 2016 or 17. I can still fit it and it's still it's like not coming apart or nothing. Now that's something that I've had a problem with in the past because I got like some overalls made from somebody before, and they were well constructed, but within 2 years they started to come loose, and I had to get somebody to fix it. Her stuff, like I can literally pull it.
I love that. I've seen that often with like handmade stuff. There's no shade to the designer, but sometimes I don't know what extra effort is necessary for it to, stay together.
Yeah. I actually was gonna get her to make me something for my birthday this year. However, she's pregnant and she's far along in her pregnancy, and I didn't want to have to bother her about it. But she's still making stuff. She was like, "I'll still do it," but I'm like, "Girl, no." But her actual clothing page is C.M Studios, but she's really professional. She is really neat. Like her work is really. It looked like you bought the stuff out the store. Like I'm not kidding. Like
My
even
kind of
like
carrying on.
the seams of it, the way it fits, and then I always just have her just make mine custom. Like if she has something on her site and I like it, I'll be like, "Can you make me this, but in this size, and then just like make it shorter or whatever." Like I always have her like make it. She'll have a dress version, but I have her make it into a shirt, something like that. Like a
Now, when
longer.
you get custom clothes, does that end up getting expensive?
It can be, but for the most part, from like even this picture behind me, that outfit, that's custom. I got that made and another shirt made. And mind you, this shirt that I just showed you, it came with gloves and a mask. I think together I only spent like $300.
You don't think that's expensive?
For custom, no.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing about
No,
custom,
I appreciate the work, but I guess when I think of expensive for an outfit or something, I don't think I maybe think 100
I
and
have to
something.
I have to think about them. I don't buy my own fabric too, so you have to factor that in. So they have to buy my fabric, and this shirt that I have is snakeskin. The shirt, it was like snakeskin gloves, a mask, and a hat. I mean, and the shirt, and then the other shirt was velvet. So I mean that does get really pricey, and then you have to pay them for the labor, of course.
Yeah,
So 300 for that wouldn't be a lot because
I get it.
I look at people like even Angel Brinks. Angel Brinks makes a lot of custom stuff, and her stuff is like $6,000.
Yeah, now that makes sense. But I guess I just in my eyes, my need for something custom would be like more of a like special occasion. So when you mentioned that you like a lot of custom stuff, to me it's like so you shop that way primarily for the most part.
Yeah. No, not all the time. But if I'm doing something like if it's my birthday or if I have a photo shoot or something or a special event, I definitely have to get custom. For one, I don't want to walk in there because it seems like every time a boy has an event, for the most part, men always go straight to Zara or ASOS.
Listen, I've been sleeping on Zara for a long time. So when people have on the same dress and we on the shade room who wore it best, I'm sorry. I only have $40 budget. Cool. Well, shout out to CM Studio. Oh, sorry, CMC Monaco is what I meant to say, right? That's how.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's C Monaco.
Oh, I'm sorry. When I think about that store that was in the mall.
Sarah, Club Monaco.
Club Monaco. I used to always be like, why they call it club? Anyway, okay, cool. I'll put the information in the episode notes per usual. You know the vibes. Let's get into shop talk. Shop talk. First things first, I want to talk about P. Diddy said that he used to, let me just read what he said. He said, one day when I was growing up, I woke up and there was 15 roaches on my face. At that moment, I said, no, I refuse to live like this. Work hard, believe in your crazy dreams, and never settle. Twitter was really in a state of shock when he said he woke up to 15 roaches in his face. Now, I don't know how he saw that many from his POV. Maybe it was dramatization. And I don't live in a house that had a lot of roaches, but I can truly say I never woke up with none on my face. And I ain't judging, but that was pretty intense.
I've definitely been over people's houses and like you cut the light on and they just start scattering everywhere.
Definitely used to live like that.
Now that was definitely
on the floor though, not on my face.
20 roaches. Yeah, hopefully he meant in his like I don't know.
Yeah, wait, maybe he meant that he could see 15. They in his face, like
like in his face, and not literally.
That I can understand, but we talking about Diddy.
On it was hilarious because people's like, I grew up with roaches, Now you probably see 2 or 3.
No,
But you ain't gonna see no 15. They don't even roll like that.
Yes, they do.
I'm
Especially
like,
they just hatched the egg. You know
that's what I'm saying. The baby roach. Oh. I remember one time. Let me tell you something. How much I despise roaches. One time, I promise you, I went over somebody's house, and I slept in a bed, and I couldn't sleep because they had roaches, and I knew it. I promise you, the roach was so little. And I was laying in the bed, and I'm like, bruh, and I had on a shirt and some shorts. I said, bruh, I feel like I'm laying on a roach. Like I felt something like wiggling. And I'm like, ain't no way in hell my big ass body can feel a little roach wiggling.
Oh baby, them things be body lifting
I
weight.
lifted up and it was a roach under me for real. But it was a little one.
Oh my God. He was pushing you up and down. That's how they become water bugs. They lift people up.
Oh my God. Roaches is just that topic is just I'm itching right now.
It's traumatizing, man. I just got one little nasty story. I remember one time when my mom was washing my hair in the bathtub, she used to just be wilding with the water. It'd be all of my eyes, face, mouth, just no regards for my visual, my eyesight. So she used to wash.
That's why you wear glasses.
Right. Took out my cornea. She would give me a rag to cover my face so the water wouldn't get into my eyes. Definitely had a roach on the rag.
Oh,
that was facing my face. And I think about it all the time. And I've had to be like 9, 10, but I literally think about it to this day.
Alicia, it didn't touch you, did it?
I don't want to tell you what it touched.
Okay.
But it was dead by the time I discovered it. Okay.
I'm moving on because I can't talk about that no more.
I remember when I was young, I used to lie and say I ain't have roaches whenever I be talking about it with my friends, but I'm sure we all had them. So why everybody would lie to each other?
When we moved in our apartments, like each apartment we moved in, definitely was roaches in there, but my mama knew how to get them things out of there. Like she would use that white powder stuff and put
boric acid. Oh, that's do the job right there.
Yeah, and we never seen them again. But your house smelled like stank fart.
We used to see. I think the worst we ever had it was at Parky Greenbrier, and we did used to put stuff down, but everybody around us clearly wasn't doing it, so it was hard to get rid of them. They would just come back.
Yeah. When I lived in Sandy Springs, our neighbors were so dirty, like they had freaking roaches everywhere.
Oh my God!
So they used to come in our house, but we ended up calling the rent office on them.
It was that bad. They were pushing y'all out your bed.
They was like coming through I'm not really a fan of roaches for sure, but when they be in your kitchen.
Oh my God. I swear. I actually remember. I remember one day, this was when we was in HHC and y'all had came up to my house. And I remember that specific day, I was like, let me just turn the kitchen lights on now. So when they get here, they're not going to see the roach.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I have so many roach memories, man. It's a shame. I'm just so thankful I don't live like that no more. Oh, Jesus. Honey.
Well, I'm about to say, it was in the cabinet. And do you know those are like considered germ roaches? They carry germs.
We know. Remember we called the episode germ roaches. I'll never forget. And they stink. They got a smell.
Moving on.
Yeah, please. What you got?
I have a lot today. There's so much going on. There's so many coons out here. So many coons. Activator. Which one do I start with? Let's start with. You think I should start with the hood healer or Brandon?
What? Yeah, let's start with her because I feel like the one I think you're gonna talk about is gonna take a little bit more time, and we're gonna be like, let's move on.
Okay. So let me just go to the post that really, because first of all, I think that anybody who follows, and I don't care who gets offended, anybody who follows the hood healer and think that what she says is okay, they have a really bad mental illness.
I see so many mixed reviews on her. Like some people really love her and some people really can't stand her.
This is my take on it before because I can't find, I think she erased the post. She made her page private because I tagged her in the post, so maybe it's in my DM.
I definitely seen that, and I was like, "Oh, this wasn't on your close friends either."
Oh no, I want her to see it. I think she blocked me. or something. I never seen this message before. It says the hood healer cannot receive your message.
Let me see. I'm about to go to it on my page. Receive your message?
Yeah. Basically
What?
saying I'm trying to DM her and it won't, and she can't see it.
You just tried to DM her just now?
No, the one that I did earlier.
What's her name?
The hood healer.
Why it's not
I
coming
don't
up? Did I
care.
get blocked too? Oh, it say her page is private, but I can't.
Yeah, now it is. It wasn't private earlier because that's why I reposted that thing. But
Oh, well,
anywho,
this is what I get when I go to her. It lets me message her.
yeah, mine say I think she probably did something on my
You
page.
deserve that.
I did. She posted something saying that people call you homophobic and transphobic just because you have um opposing opinions or something like that. It wasn't even that verbatim.
It says something like if you question or disagree with something from the LGBTQ, you are homophobic and you're an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, trying to be funny. And I just was basically because I think that a lot of people think that, and I don't know if I talked about this on the episode last week, but I had a situation about a week or two ago where I had to confront some colleagues of mine and also a friend of mine all at the same time because they said some things that were very uncomfortable for me, and it was very homophobic. And even though it wasn't about me or they weren't necessarily talking about me, I had to explain to them that I have friends who identify as those things, those types of people, and they identify with those characteristics, and that's rude,
Right.
and it's very offensive to me. You know what I'm saying? Because what if just because, like, I don't. Nobody should have to just be uh put in a box. Like, if you're this, you need to act like this. That's just like saying
That's like saying you can't wear your bonnet to the airport.
I was literally about to say that.
Oh, for real? And I call myself trolling.
Wow. That's just like saying that you can't wear your bonnet to the airport, or you're this type of person, or if you're a black woman, you have to wear your hair a certain type of way because that's classy. This is, what? How can I not be classy with afro or braids?
Hello,
You
how
know,
it grow out my darn head.
thank you. So that's basically what the conversation was about. It was just about because they basically were saying that they like me because I'm not one of the extra gays. I hate those types.
Disrespectful.
And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean by that? Because are you saying the extra because they dress a certain way and you don't like the way they dress, or whatever the case may be? And I had to explain to them how that was offensive and how stupid that was, because I'm like, if I were to wear heels one day or wanted to put heels on because that's what I felt like putting on, I should be okay with.
Right.
I should feel comfortable with doing that. Those are things that people don't realize that is homophobic, and that's not an opinion. Not
Period.
to, I mean, that you can't have an opinion on stuff like that. Not for real. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. But everything doesn't need to be just expressed in that manner, and you need to have at least compassion for another human being. But people don't think that way. They just think about how they were taught growing up, and they had the nerve to say, "Oh, because if my child come home like that or do that, then I'm kicking them out, or because we not having it. I work too hard." I say, you work too hard for your child to be straight.
Mm.
Like, what does that mean?
Like,
Like,
literally, what is, we always, every time we talk about this subject, it's literally the same questions. Like, this, it's about who they having sex with. What exactly does that have to do with you? Like, it's just like certain things. Like, it's just like your child choosing to go to a certain school or choosing to play a certain sport. Like, these are things that interest them or they feel more connected to. So let them be them. They're not being harmful to nobody.
I think that my problem with the hood healer is that she feels just because she identifies with being a spiritual being, she identifies with sage and Palo Santo and crystals, that it makes everything that comes out of her mouth credible and right. And my thing about it is those are just objects. I mean, they're used for what they're used for. And I own them. I own sage, I own crystals, I own stuff like that. But I definitely don't use those things to create narratives about people that may be harmful or speak negatively about certain types of people, or even just to file with science. Because I remember one day she just said something like, there's basically no way that nobody can be naturally gay. Like they have to have some sort of trauma in
She
order
even
for.
said that postpartum depression doesn't exist. Like it's
Yeah,
not real.
see what I'm saying? Like I think that the reason why people like her is because I had this conversation with my friend Whitney earlier because she was just saying how like she met her, and from the moment that she met her, it was terrible. Like she said she felt a bad energy about her. And she was just saying basically that she feels as if like the reason why people connect with her, they follow her, is because for one, people connect with her because of those things. They see a spiritual person. And for one, people love a leader. They love to have somebody who's superior and that they can listen to, and they feel like, you know what I'm saying, what they're saying is right. And also identifying with that sage and that spiritual being, people love that, and they hold on to that. And I really do hate that. And I even hate the fact that um I genuinely have a love for Summer Walker, but I feel as if she is one and the same with her. She follows
It's,
every, huh?
it's something.
She's one and the same with her. She speaks so many different. Both of them speak so like on things that are 100% wrong. They make these accusations about things that are wrong. Um, they come up with all these ignorant reasons of why people do certain things or how this is just wrong to just do, and I just never understand it. I'm not a fan of it. I don't see it. Um don't recommend. She's trash.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're just gonna
Okay.
end it right there because I'm not here to bash, but
Yeah,
if,
I've never, the first time I ever heard of her was when I went to, I think it was called 29 Rooms. It was one of those like Instagram photo museums, and she had a room, but they were doing like palm readings, and my cousin was not going for it. And so we didn't do it, but it was about a hood healer. And that's what first put her on my radar. But after that, I did see people like call her homophobic and just saying a lot of different things. And the tweets that I saw to support that was enough for me to be like, I'm good. But I did watch an interview of her on the Girl I Guess podcast with Karen Civil and Mean Lee. And it definitely left a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm really glad that Karen and Ming like stood firm in their belief. They didn't really like, they were having a respectful and honest conversation with her. But when she would say certain stuff, like especially when she talked about postpartum depression not being real, like she kind of just tried to play it off like, just get some sleep, just take a break, you know what I'm saying? And Ming was like, no, like I'm telling you, I experienced this. And I guess I'm just glad that they didn't just try to, some people to appease
she's
people, they be
telling
like,
people
oh,
that, and she's literally just now starting.
yes, she's pregnant herself.
She's pregnant now with her first child. So you're telling people about something that you haven't even experienced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Weirdo.
it's actually really crazy, but yeah, it didn't sit well with me. I mean, I definitely appreciate how Ming and Karen stood their ground, and I don't think it left no bad taste in their mouth about her, but it just showed the different perspectives, and I chose the side that I wanted to be on. So, yeah. So okay, cool. Let's move on. What else? Oh, I want to talk about I mean, this usually be something you'll report on, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. So
On them
basically,
lose.
huh?
On them lose. Master plan.
On August 1st, Kim Kardashian is shutting down KKW Beauty for a rebrand. Sounds to me like we're gonna drop the W.
Oh snap! I ain't even think about that.
Yeah, somebody in the comments said, as long as it don't become KKK.
You know what? You know what?
Points were made. But yeah, so she said on August 1st at midnight, we will be shutting down the kkwbeauty.com site so we can come back to you under a completely new brand with new formulas that are more modern, innovative, and packaged in an elevated and sustainable new look. I'm excited to continue to develop and expand my product range for you to finally be able to experience it the way that I have always envisioned. That's some shade to Kanye. In addition, my team is hard at work to improve the customer. Okay. Basically, she's just saying that you're going to be able to buy all her products from one single website.
Got it.
Now, I don't know if that includes Skims, but because she said beauty and cosmetic, I don't really think clothing falls under that. So
nah. So it'd probably be KKW fragrance in that because she does that fragrance line. So now only if Kylie just didn't finish doing this, I would have said it has something to do with Kanye. Kylie shut down KKW Beauty. I mean, not KKW, Kylie Cosmetics maybe like 2 months ago for a rebrand. And what happened was she made all of her products vegan and um non whatever. Hold on, let me go look. It's like non-cruelty
Non-GMOs.
product. Not non-GMO. That's food. So
I know, but if it's vegan,
her beauty brand now is all clean, vegan, cruelty-free, and gluten-free.
okay.
So she rebranded so that she can have those products, because I think that we're in a time where everybody's very, 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 very health conscious, especially in her community, because she lives in LA. They literally ask about, like, I've witnessed this, they ask about everything. And LA is probably one of the only few places I've been to where when you go out to the grocery store, you have to pay for bags.
Oh, California, they banned plastic bags several years ago.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, you have to pay 10 cents and you'll get a paper bag, I believe.
They still, yeah, they have like the
reusable bags.
Not the reusable ones, but they have biodegradable plastic bags now.
Yeah.
So they'll be like
that's a statewide thing.
Yeah, I was like, wow. So I think that definitely plays a big part. And her sister is like very conscious about that. Courtney, she always be talking about like gluten-free candy and all this other stuff. So
listen,
I'm like,
it could still have something to do with Kanye.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it definitely could though. But she signed it as Kim Kardashian West.
Yeah, because she ain't divorced yet.
I don't know. She could though. She could be doing that. I'll say this much: you can definitely tell that they're not together no more, because her fashion is definitely not where it was.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, the few pictures I've seen, I'm like, what year is it? Is it 2010?
Yeah, I know that got to be hard though, because your husband, or your ex, well, her, not ex-husband yet, but her husband was her stylist for what, the last, how long they were married? 8 years. And then even before they were married or together, he was still using her as his muse. So he was still like low-key styling her before they were dating.
Well, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I do feel like you unless you just didn't think about it, when somebody puts you on to fashions like that and styles you, you kind of adopt that vision a little bit. And she must just didn't even think twice, or maybe she just didn't even want to wear the stuff he had her.
I think that it could be that, and it could be the simple fact that she just don't
care.
She don't care, and then she doesn't want to like mimic his style that he had her in. If that makes sense. Like, you don't want to be like, okay, I just want a whole rebrand now, because, and she don't know, because she been letting him dress her for so long that she don't really have like her own vision, because he could have been going shopping for her. Like, Kanye is really into fashion, obviously, but that's just, and now she probably has to find a whole new styling team.
Yeah, true.
Know? But even before they were dating and she was dressing herself, she wore black leggings and a blazer.
And
that was her uniform. Yeah, like she ain't wear nothing for real. So I'm like, she ain't got no sense of style like that.
Okay.
It ain't everybody ministry.
Period. Yeah, I'm definitely sweatsuits and Crocs. That's my style. I love bummy looks, oversized t-shirts, shorts, and leggings. No. I've never been a fashion girl, so I can get away with it.
Period. Can't relate.
Okay, anyway, so what you got?
So this past weekend it was Black Gay Pride. If you guys aren't familiar, we do have separate pride from the regular traditional gay pride that each city or state has. For obvious reasons. I mean, of course, just like in any other community, we have to have our own celebrations because of just the way that things are. Like, we don't have in Black Gay Pride. The only thing I hate is that we don't have like parades, stuff that you see on TV and what you think pride is. Mm-hmm. The Black Gay Pride is pretty much just club events. Like, it's never nothing. And that's one thing I can't really get with, because I'm like, it's club events and then they just raise the prices really high and it's so crowded, so many people. That's neither here nor there. But so this past weekend it was LA Black Gay Pride, and they booked Chika and Amaya Scott as the special guests for a club. It was a promoter, Brandon Anthony, who is a really, 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 really popular promoter. Now, I don't know if he's from LA, if I'm not mistaken. I think that he's from here, like from what I heard, because I thought that I think that he's from here, from Atlanta. But he lives in LA, and he throws like these huge parties. Like, when I was there recently, that was like the talk of the weekend. They were like, "Oh, you should stay. Brandon Anthony's having a party. He always has these big parties. Everybody always shows up. It's like a major thing. LA never has stuff like this. We never have black party promoters, so this is new for us." So he ended up booking Chika and Amaya for a club night, and it went left. So if you're not familiar with how bookings like that go, whenever you get booked for a club, they pay you your booking fee, obviously, and then of course you get sections and bottles. Well, they did this out the kindness of their heart, so they weren't getting paid for it, but they also had to pay for their bottles and stuff like that. And if you bought a bottle in the club before, you know that shit is expensive. Like it gets really,
That's
really,
why I
really
drink water.
expensive. And so it's like I think they both had a tab of like $1,600. Now she was like, whatever, I paid mine, but she felt some type of way because not only were they not paying her no mind, and then they that's how they were treating her. Kehlani just popped up in support of Chika, and the spotlight went off of Chika and went on to Kehlani. So they started playing Kehlani's music, getting her drinks. Photographers was over there taking pictures of her, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand how that feels. Like, imagine me being on the flyer of it. My friend, who is also in the industry, pops up, and now y'all turn it into her event. Now, on Amaya's end, Amaya said that she said something at the party about it because that's not what she's used to. If you get booked for something, you get paid and you get bottle service and stuff like that.
What made her do it out of kind of where did that come from? Were they friends? Like what made
I'm
this?
guessing that they are friends, and then also, like I said before, LA isn't like a big city. I mean, it's not a city that has a lot of black events, especially for LGBT at all. So this is really new for them. So it could have been a thing where like they know that this is probably like the first year they're doing this, and they just want to be in support because they are part of the community. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
So,
makes sense.
you know what I'm saying? So they just coming out in support. I mean, that's just whatever. They're like, whatever. I'm gonna show up, because this is big. We never have stuff like this in LA. Blah blah blah. It just was the fact that they were on the flyer and they weren't even doing anything for them, and they were actually part of the reason why people were coming out to do that. But apparently, he put his hands on Amaya in the party because of that. Tried to get her kicked out. Um, he was calling her out of her name. After the event, he showed up at her hotel. He burst into her hotel room, and she said that he like choked her up against the wall and she had to call 911. He was fat shaming Chika online because she made a post about it, about how he was treated, and he was like, nobody came to see you anyway, fat back, and all sorts of calling her all type of
Yeah, that was
names,
very uncalled for.
calling her all type of things out of her name. And he didn't delete his tweets though. Like his tweets are still up where he was calling misgendering Amaya, saying that she was on drugs, like a lot of stuff. Like people don't realize that stuff like that could be detrimental to her career. She's an actress, you know what I'm saying? And she's black and trans. It's already hard enough for her to get work because of those three things. And then somebody who's in the same community as her, will go and come on Beyonce's internet and tell people that this girl is doing drugs or whatever the case may be, when that could really strip her from a lot of endorsements, a lot of new
Yeah, I mean stuff
bookings.
like that. People go based off of public opinion, and that was really going on.
Yeah. So I really hope they sue him. She could have a petition to get him um removed from the company, from that promoting company.
I'm sure it's his company though.
Yeah. And then the LA Black Pride official Instagram made a post that was very stupid and insensitive. Basically trying to fake apologize to Chika, but they didn't they apologized for not playing her song. Like trying to play her like she was just mad because they weren't playing her music. And I
Which
think that's
kind of
fucked up.
semi confirms that was him that probably made the darn post.
But yeah, that's what's going on with
Oh,
that. I really
child.
hope they
Yeah,
sue
when I
somebody.
first heard about the situation, I definitely feel like it was disrespectful. Whether Sheikah and Amaya got paid or not, they were definitely hosting that event. And, you know, it's bigger than just playing my music. Like, put some respect on my name. There's clearly a reason why you wanted me to be hosting this event. There's a reason why I'm on this flyer. I'm literally Grammy nominated. I'm doing this out of the kindness of my goddamn heart. And you couldn't even provide me with some alcohol that has been inflated 100,000%. Make it make sense. And then you put all the attention on my celebrity friend when I brought several friends, and it just is tasteless. And I do wonder when it comes to the music thing, is that on a DJ? How does that even work? That's how out the club I be. I don't understand.
What you mean?
Like, is it the DJ who chose not to play her music and chose to put the music on Kehlani? You know what I'm saying? Or is the promoter like, hey, play that
definitely on the DJ.
Okay.
Because most DJs always say they don't take requests. So I mean, he could have genuinely not known her music or whatever, but I think that you know, in any situation where I've experienced somebody who whether they're influencer or whatever, or if they have music, they play it if they're in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll either do research on the artist or whatever, because it's like you knew she was coming there.
Exactly.
You knew that. So it's nothing wrong with playing one or two of her songs, or whatever. Like, it's just really, really weird. And this is another reason why I don't really support a lot of black gay clubs in Atlanta. Like, I literally only go to the Marquette, and I know that's so fucking ratchet. Let me tell you something about the Marquette. The Marquette, I'm gonna go in there. They're gonna play music that I love to hear. The people in there are ratchet and ghetto, but the thing about it is, they're not rude. They're dancing. They're having fun. They're enjoying
the organic time.
Yeah, it's literally what people go out to do, to have fun. These people, these promoters, they don't really care for me, for one, because I'm not the type of person where I don't care to be on flyers just because I have a lot of Instagram followers and I have a lot of celebrity clients. They assume that, oh yeah, so I want to be on the flyer. I want to be the host of this club, because that's not my brand. I don't even want that associated with me. When I go out, I will pay to get in your club because I'm here to have fun. I don't want to.
That's what you're there for. It's not.
I don't want to be the star of that. Like, I work behind the scenes on my everyday job, so I don't want to be. That's not me. So it's like a popularity contest, and even still, like, now promoters do respect me. I appreciate it, because like I said before, I do get in a lot of these clubs for free because they respect the fact that I just don't want to be there. But they're like, you know, you do this and you that, I ain't gonna have you paying to get in here. They just feel like it's good enough that you're out supporting me and you willing to do that. But it's just really weird. Like, I really wish that it was just a way to get around it. But also, I'm getting older, so that may be another reason why I feel like I'm like getting over that life. I just like to have fun though. I like to be outside and see people sometimes. You know, I don't want to be cooped up in the house all the time. But I mean, I'll tell you one thing: it ain't always a good time.
All right, so let's. I was, wondering about what our main topic should be, and then it hit me.
Come on,
huh?
Come on with it.
So basically, over the past week, there has been a lot of up and down mixed emotions, support, lack of support thereof for Sha'Carri Richardson, who failed a drug test to qualify to proceed and compete in the Olympics. And people were really upset because they were just like, y'all, she just lost her mama. She probably just didn't know how to cope. Or some people was like, rules are rules. Or some people was like, she knew she had to take a drug test. She went on TV, said that. She said that she knew she had to take a drug test and she chose to do it anyway. So people just kind of feel like it was irresponsible on her part. I think both are true. I think that as somebody who has had several jobs in my life, I have had to take a drug test for most of them. And even though I don't smoke whatsoever, it is something that I'm always aware of. Even when people are looking for jobs, they be like, they drug test. Like, it's just kind of a thing. It's just kind of like part of the process. And I do wish that she did not risk this opportunity for an edible, a blunt, whatever it was, and I genuinely am empathetic for her because of the losses she's taken. But just as much as she showed resilience with the race and went and really showing her true talents and prevailing at, I feel like that kind of grace should have been given when preparing for the Olympics. So initially they were announcing, they were saying that because she failed a drug test, she had to be suspended for 30 days, which would disqualify her from the 100-meter race. But she would be able to participate in the hurdles, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. But the race is really where she shines at. Well, anyway, as of about an hour ago, it basically saying that Sha'Carri Richardson will not be allowed to compete in any Olympic events for the Tokyo Olympics. And it's actually really sad. So I was just curious to know what your feelings are on something like that when it comes, like, a lot of people just saying, like, first of all, she was in Oregon. She got tested in a state that has legalized weed. But the Olympics is literally a global company. It's a global event. It's international. It don't matter what y'all got going over there, because this is what we got for this organization of the Olympics. And so, where do you really stand? Not just on her in particular. What do you stand on? Like, I don't even know. I want to say, like, just people maybe not adhering to rules.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I understand what you were saying. So, okay, so we grew up in the South. We grew up in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught from the beginning, just because of what's around us. Like, I don't think that people realize, like, Atlanta is a very, 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 very black city, but we have surrounding cities of Atlanta, and also the old Buckhead and areas like that, where it's a lot of white people and it's a lot of racist white people.
Mm-hmm.
And we just always was taught to just kind of like follow the rules just so we won't get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stay out of trouble. That was always the thing. Just stay out of trouble. Don't cause no trouble. Don't talk back to adults. Don't do this. Don't do that. Like, we always had rules set in place. Now, as I've gotten older, I definitely realized that rules are meant to be broken, because in certain cases, if it was somebody in another race, they would give them a little bit more leeway, or maybe not. When dealing with stuff like this, where it's like um, global, I do feel as if the rules are different, because if you were to adhere these same rules to something like the Miss America pageant, something that's like really
Patriotic.
exactly, um, she would have got disqualified as well because of the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's responsible of her to not make a big deal, because I think that in a situation, a lot of people would have made this about race, and they're making it about race now, but she would have said it herself, but she took full responsibility of
She
it.
did.
You
And
know what I'm saying? So it's like, she know that she did wrong. She knew that was a part of being in the Olympics. You cannot smoke, you can't do any drugs, alcohol, whether it's legal or not, because alcohol is legal. But even in certain situations, when they test for those, for because I mean, you're representing your country. And that
mm-hmm.
doesn't even I don't even say that to say that weed is a bad thing, because I'm a person who feel like marijuana is very beneficial, especially to people with anxiety, certain illnesses and diseases, just healing properties, and just mental properties. I feel like that's something that should be legal everywhere. But
yeah, it's not like it's performance enhancing. If anything, it would have stopped her
yeah,
from being her best.
yeah, and it didn't. So I do think that she can flip it though. I think that she should come out with her own line of CBD or something. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
can't.
mean,
I don't know. I think she
I
can flip it,
definitely
but I
think
don't.
she can flip it. I don't know if right now, because that's kind of insensitive, especially because she's so young and she probably is going to try to compete against next year and the year after that. I feel like that can be a little irresponsible to do that right now. Maybe eventually, but like, she should just take this as a lesson and next year compete again. And if she makes it to the Olympics, make sure she does her part and continues going forward. I know Twitter was talking about she need to come out with some cannabis and all the other stuff. I hear y'all, but this is for real. This
Yeah,
is
no.
literally some, not even once in a lifetime, but low key once in a lifetime for an athlete. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
all eyes are going to be on her. And how would that make her look? And, unfortunately, optics do matter, but how would that make her look if she's like this college student that's competing? She might get kicked out of school. All these things could just continue to work against her. That's just not okay. I just really hate, one thing I will say, and I know she's a young girl, she's from Texas and all this other stuff, but she was acting pretty careless about it on Good Morning America. And I had to be like
I didn't
judgy
even
because
see that.
she was just like, I don't know if she was in a hallway or in a room, but she just was like pacing. Well, she probably was nervous, but even the way she was talking, to me, it just didn't sound like she was, and maybe she just wasn't as bothered by it happening. But I know she had to be proud. I mean, I seen her tweets after she qualified herself and stuff like that. And it's just like, and now I feel like the people that are gonna proceed and represent the United States in the Olympics, they're gonna always be like the people who do win these races and stuff like that. They're just gonna be like, well, she only won because Sha'Carri didn't race. You know what I'm saying? And who even wants to win a gold medal after that?
Yeah, I would.
I mean, I hear you, but it's like you the best because you beat the best. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Whatever. As someone who is an avid rule follower, I just am always super conscious about the decisions I make, and I know everybody's not the same way, so I can expect it. And I'm definitely much older than Sha'Carri, but I just hate that this happened. She got so, and I think as far as the Black community, we gonna have her back, but as far as the community that's involved with her athletic career, I just hope this doesn't taint her image. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever been in a situation where you lost the opportunity because you broke a rule?
Yes, I've been a rebel since probably elementary school. But the one time that I'm sure that me and you can remember is me knowing that the rule book said no designs in my hair. And I went and cut my hair in designs and a mohawk and colored it and still showed up for work.
And you were not even too much younger than Sha'Carri's age right now.
No, I just feel like at that time, like I was a young adult. I wasn't hurting anybody. I understand y'all have rules, but I had a hat on. You couldn't even see it.
Yeah, but somebody seen it. You let somebody see it. Not you let, but like you had it exposed. Somebody, you probably posted it on the internet or something.
Mind y'all business, get off my page.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's the thing.
It's so crazy now that I go to Six Flags and you can literally have hair past your shoulders, colored hair. Like you can do whatever you want to do.
Tattoos, phone.
Yes. I'm like,
yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Listen, times have changed, and maybe this situation with Sha'Carri can change the rules. Who knows? But I think it'll be a while before that. But she could definitely be an advocate for it if she really wanted to. I mean, not saying like make an advocate for. I don't know. Honestly, I do. I just want something positive to turn to this, and I want her. I mean, I know that she's dealing with something very tough right now, but I do want this to kind of be a lesson, like.
And what's crazy is I was too at that same time.
You what?
I said the crazy part about it was I was too at the same time. Remember, that's around the time I lost my mama.
Did you feel like because of that you didn't really care about stuff like doing
I will say that definitely had like an influence on my image, like, and just the things that I did. I am partial is because I was trying to act like I was okay when I really wasn't. Instead of getting professional help and trying to deal with it on my own, I found things that gave me adrenaline or made me feel like rebelling against just life in general. Like everybody's doing this, I'm going against that, and I'm gonna do this. This is what I want to look like. This is what I want to do. This is what I identify with. And I mean, even still to this day, I'm still the same way. So, but like I said before, like even when I was younger, I felt like I did the same thing. So I don't know if that has something to do with it.
It could just come with maturity.
But it definitely played a big part in just my rebellion or just going against what I knew I shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah, and it also makes me wonder who is representing her, like if she has an agent or what kind of influence she has, because I can't imagine. I mean, I'm not that they're gonna be with her every second of the day, but I feel like there have to be things that they go over with her to prepare for this, and so they can express the importance of how big of a deal this is. Like, because I mean, yes, we can break it down to like she's dealing with a lot, but when I think of the Olympics, man, I think of like it's just like the ultimate award for being athletic. Like people be playing sports from a toddler through adulthood, and to make it to the Olympics to compete against the best around the world is a huge deal, and not a lot of people can say they've done it. And so it just makes me wonder, like, how was this emphasized to her? Like, did she really want to do it? I don't know. I just have a lot of questions, and it's not for me to determine, because obviously I'm 32 years old and I know right from wrong, but I'm also and I'm not in the mindset of a young woman who may feel a little bit more free to me, you know what I'm saying? Because it just to me it did come off as like she was just like, yeah, I did it.
Cause what's she gonna say?
I mean, yes, you're right, but there's some tact and stuff like that. Like this is coming off of the positive attention that she got from qualifying herself, and she is literally the fastest woman in the country in America. So I think that I think that something like that is very powerful and serious, and she has been talented in that aspect for a really long time. But to me, she didn't act as if that was the case. And it's not, I mean, she ain't got to perform for me, but it's kind of like the way I would expect a CEO or a director or a VP of a company to act if something happens with the company negatively. I want them to positively represent the company because they have a brand to represent. And I feel like the way she was on Good Morning America was not that. And that's why I wonder who's representing her, like if she has an agent or whatever. I mean, she has to have an agent, but like, did they talk about it before? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Probably not.
Unless she was just like, yeah, I hear you.
No. I don't know. I also think that that's just current state of image anyway. Like if you notice people who are in the entertainment business that are at the top, they're up there because they get to speak their mind and say what they want to say and how they feel and act how they want without people supervising what they say, i.e. Cardi B, SZA, Tyler the Creator, Doja Cat, just people like that who are known to be a little bit more outspoken than somebody like Normani. I had to use her, but
I don't know if I ever heard any of the people you mentioned speak out, so I don't even have nothing to compare it to.
like, I mean, interview Cardi B, seriously.
I mean, yes, Cardi, but like everybody after that, SZA, Tyler the Creator, I don't know nothing.
Like Tyler the Creator definitely like is somebody who is controversial when it comes to interviews and just being even accepting awards. He says some things that you wouldn't expect somebody to say when they're receiving an award, and people like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I do remember him speaking out about being considered pop or something. He was classified like incorrectly, I think, for an award, and he spoke out against it, and it was true. I remember that.
Yeah. So I think that's just where we are now in general.
Oh no, that was Childish Gambino. I don't even know. Never mind.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I'm all for it because I also do think that just looking at previous people who have had like really successful careers and they have people to kind of talk for them, they have issues because they weren't able to kind of be their self, whether it was problematic or not.
What you mean have people talk for them?
Like be there, like say this, say this, say this, say this, and don't say this.
Yeah, not gonna understand.
Even when you want to, and you're like, but they need to know this.
Yeah, not gonna understand.
They need to know the real, but they're like, no, that's gonna fuck up your career. You can't say no shit like that.
I feel like these days the right thing and the wrong thing can ruin somebody's career. But I do feel like no matter what, if it goes viral, you kind of guarantee long-term attention. And it's all about what you do with it.
For sure.
And maybe that's what was part of Carrie's. I don't know, man. I just hate this happen to her. I was just really freaking excited to see her in the Olympics now. I mean, I don't even watch the Olympics for real. I've always watched the gymnastics aspect. I never watched track and field, but I was going to watch for Sha'Carri, but now I'm just like,
yeah, man.
Right.
I think we all over it because Sha'Carri not in it. So now they're trying to boycott it. I seen some celebrities like, don't watch the Olympics. I'm like, child.
Oh boy, that's gonna make people watch it. Tell them not to watch it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had many situations where I broke the rules. Anyway, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've always been a rule follower. I do remember getting my phone taken in high school. Maybe it was like 10th, 11th grade. And this is back when, I'm sure it's different now, but we were not allowed to have our phones. I had a Nokia slider, and this was 12th grade. Anyway, so my assistant principal walked into the classroom. He seen with my phone out, and I literally was taking it out because I think somebody was calling me. I wasn't taking it out to use it, but I was trying to silence it, and because the phones couldn't be visible, and they took my phone, and they was like, "You gotta, number one, you can't get it back till after the pep rally, or you gotta pay $10 to get it back." And I wasn't going for it, so I called my mama, and I got my phone back. So,
period.
Don't play with me.
I know your mama a rule breaker.
Let me tell you something. Listen.
Now that one, yeah. What's up?
But yeah, it was just like, it was one of the situations where I legit was not trying to, like, people be used to have their phones out playing games, sending stuff, but that was not what I was doing. And I'm like, you're gonna ask a high school student to give you $10 that you're gonna pocket to get their phone back? Okay.
Scam.
Very much so.
Let me call Channel 5 News, see what they think about this.
My mom say 2, 5, and 11. She gonna call all of them. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just interested to know what people who are listening think about stuff like that, or even this particular situation. It's sad, but I do try to look at it just like a job. Like if I failed a drug test for this job I wanted, which could be the best job opportunity I ever had, they're not gonna be like, okay, Alicia, we understand you've been through a lot. Let's just come on in. But it's like the conditions of getting this job offer are to pass this drug test.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't pass it, you don't get a job. That's just how it goes. And it's not unfair for somebody to not get a job if they fail it. It's not based on other things. It's yes or no. Pass, fail.
That's why them folks be doing cocaine, because being in your system for 7 days.
Okay. Haven't done that.
I ain't did it either. Never even thought about it. But I definitely be watching little documentaries about drugs all the time. So they be.
Yeah, it's just, but it is what it is. Like, what can you do? I do wish her the best. I'm glad it wasn't steroids or something hard like crack, but or some pills or anything like that. But maybe next year should carry. And I hope she still has that same momentum. I hope, not that I hope somebody else don't come in faster than her, but I still want her to get her flowers just off of this moment she had this year.
Carrie, DM me, sis.
All right, y'all, let's wrap it up. I gotta take my dog out. She is crying in the background, and I do not need her messing up the house or waking me up at 3:00 in the morning like she did last night. We'll holler at you next week. Holler at your girl.
Holler at your burrow.
And your world, and your curl, and your twirl, and your pearl. That's all I got this week.
Period.
Bye.